What is the best number? 10063. Hello, Girl Scouts. We're still doing quarantine Girl Scouts here. This is not live. We'll be doing this kind of as live, as we're going to be making a very simple French bread recipe. Very few ingredients, very simple to make. So with mommy and daddy's help, or mommy or dad, maybe you can maybe make this at home. We got all the ingredients today, a lot of them delivered fresh today from Instacart. Yay! Now, like I told you at the other cooking, first thing you want to do is read the full recipe. Make sure you understand it. So let's see. It talks about like 45 minutes, like all the prep time and stuff. It's gonna make 2 loaves. So it says. So what we're gonna need is 2 cups warm water. We'll be getting that pretty soon. 2 1/4 teaspoons active dry yeast. That's one of these. I guess you're supposed to be doing this really. 2 tablespoons sugar. We got the sugar there, and we got measuring cups here. 2 teaspoons. Ooh, teaspoon salt. Ooh, I'm glad I caught that. I got tablespoons. Ooh, that would have been yeah. So that's why I tell you why it's so important to make sure you read. I pre-did it, and I did 2 tablespoons salt. It should be 2 teaspoons salt. So let's just kind of
Baking, you have to be precise.
yeah, it has to be there's no marker for 2 teaspoons. I'm just gonna have to kind of. That looks about right. I am so glad I caught that. Let's just put this in bowls. We can use on popcorn or whatever later. Yeah, that's why I tell you it's so important to make sure you really understand the recipe. So I'm glad we caught it, because that bread would have been ruined. So we got a 2 teaspoons salt, 5 1/2 cups, approximately it says breaded flour. Later on we're going to kind of work that out. Optional, 1 large egg white. I think we'll take that option. Optional, sesame seeds or poppy seeds. We will be going seedless today because Instacart did not bring us seeds, and I don't know if that confetti icing would be right for this. So 1, gather the ingredients. We have all the ingredients gathered except for the water. We'll be getting the water momentarily. In a large bowl, and we're just going to mix it right straight into the mixing bowl here.
Goody.
Combine water, yeast, sugar, and salt. Stir with your fork until dissolved. Mix in flour a little at a time. Just a little bit. You mix a little bit. We'll be getting that.
Look at me.
Because you're going to be the one that's adding it a little bit at a time.
Oh.
Until soft dough is formed. Dough! Turn dough onto a floured board and knead it for about 8 minutes. We cleaned this table up. We cleaned the sanitizer earlier. We're going to be using that as our table, as our knead and floured board. Put dough in a greased bowl. Yeah, maybe actually we will mix it into the red one here. Actually, we'll figure. No, we'll mix it in here and that. Okay, we'll get this. That's why I say it's very important that we didn't understand this ahead of time. Put the dough in greased bowl and flip dough over so that dough top is lightly greased. Cover with a clean towel and let rise in warm, draft-free place for about 1 hour or until it doubles in size. So when that time comes, we'll turn the video off because you don't have to. We'll probably watch Andy Griffith or something for an hour. Ooh, punch down dough. I like that. Boo, boo.
You're going to do that.
Yay! Give the dough a quick 2-minute knead, and we'll go with knead. That just kind of means just kind of keep folding it into it. and the more you knead it, the fluffier your bread will get. Divide dough into 2 equal halves. Then shape each half into a log loaf. I just might actually roll ours out, flatten, and then roll it. It kind of comes out really good if you do it like that. Put loaves into lightly greased baking sheet. Mark about 5 diagonal slits, 3/4 deep, into the top of each loaf. It kind of gives a little. Cover loaves and let rise for 45 minutes, or again until double in size. While dough is proofing again. I guess that means heat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We are going to be using our toaster oven for this. Optional, brush loaves with egg whites for shiny crust and sprinkle with sesame seed. We'll figure it out when we get to that part. Bake at 400 degrees for 5 minutes. Remove loaves from oven and use a mister to spray the tops of the loaves with cold water. We do not have a mister. We'll maybe just turn oven down to 350 and bake loaves for another 25 minutes or until done. Remove loaves from baking sheet and let cool on a rack. Serve and enjoy. So are we ready?
Okay.
So grab the camera. First thing we want to do, we do this, is we want to wash our hands. Keelan just washed her hands before we came on. So what you want to, because we're going to be we're going to be touching this and stuff, coronavirus or not, you want to wash your hands good before you handle the dough. Dough! And the ingredients, okay. We'll kind of keep this on because it's calling for like the warm water, so I get the warm water setting. That's about right. So, yes, okay, gather the ingredients. So that's 2 cups of warm water. So let's grab our 2 cups of warm water. That's 1 cup. Oh. 2 cups. Will you shut that off, please? And it says combined water, yeast. So let's put a thing of yeast in there.
Making sure you're in the shot, because I can't. Oh, it's in the shot?
I can see me. Hi.
Okay.
See, it's just active dry yeast. That's good.
Alright, because I can't see what.
That's fine.
Can I put it down?
You could like like turn around and flip it so you can see.
No, you can't. No. That's a zoom in. There's no thing. That's zooming in. I told you about this.
I could have sworn you could.
No.
Maybe on Facebook Live I've done it before. I don't know.
I probably.
But okay.
That's just what you thought it was.
So.
So what is the cat doing?
Let's put the yeast in here. Oh.
Ooh. That was kind of scary.
Well, I just want to transfer it in there. We got the salt, the salt, and sugar. How much sugar? 2 tablespoons sugar. So let's get this. Put the sugar.
The packaged sugar.
Regular old, not the powdered sugar, the regular granulated sugar.
The camera, my angles might be off, but that's okay. I can't tell.
It's good, it's good.
Oh, that was Mackenzie, man.
It says, this one's 2 tablespoons, not 2 teaspoons, right? 2 teaspoons salt, 2 tablespoons sugar, okay.
Ooh, I got too high.
Just a little less. want to get this as close as possible.
I'm gonna put it down because it looks.
Okay. So you put that in there,
Oh, that's a good shot.
and you want to take your fork, just mix it. It kind of looks a little.
Sorry, didn't mean to get in the shot.
It's okay. Now we're gonna get the flour. So we're going to want to 5.5 cups of flour.
Half cup.
5.5 cups. Let's try this.
Why don't you just use that?
Yeah, I get that.
I think that'd be easier for you. It'll take less time.
Oh no, no, I'm just gonna use this. It's all right.
Alright.
You might get like a little more precise because this is actually a full cup. So just.
Ooh.
So one, you kind of like scrape the top off with your knife.
Yeah. Well, there's extra.
So one. There's a brand new. I already heard it.
Ooh.
Okay, that's two. Now I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna dump all this out of this bowl here.
In the
It's just easier to grab it this way.
oh.
So we got two little shortcuts.
Just don't drop on the floor.
Three. See how much easier that is? Four.
I like the sound of when flour goes in there.
Okay, that's making a weird sound effect. So we get the fifth one here, and it says
Half.
5.5. So let's find the. That's a third. This is half.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's. There we go. 5.5. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down for this part.
I suggest this chair. It's whatever.
What this one to get on, see the camera. So we're gonna as I say, slowly start adding it slowly. Keelan, gonna start adding now.
Adding what? Oh.
Just want to put like a little bit in. Now, hang on. And I'll mix first. Alright, go ahead, a little more. Good.
I'm gonna stop.
Good. Keep going.
I just don't like to spill it all.
That's alright. Let's
I don't like
we'll do
making
fine.
mistakes even though I
No,
probably
we're not making mistakes.
have. I'm making happy accident.
No, it's just
Okay, that looks now it's starting to look weird. Looks like clay or something.
yeah, it's gonna look a lot like that but that the brownies were using for their pottery
Want me to
that
add
you know.
more?
Hang on,
Oh, there's a thing right here so you can use that.
okay, go ahead a little more. Okay, that'll do. A little flour kind of got out, but that's okay because pretty soon we're gonna kind of dig in here and start adjusting some of the stuff. You're gonna want to make it so it's not sticky to the touch anymore. Yeah, add flour then until dough is formed, and then we're gonna like knead it for like 8 minutes. It says.
Need it? You might need to set a timer.
Well, you gotta,
I have my phone right
well, you got to use the kitchen timer.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You want me to add more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just add the rest?
Let's go ahead and put the rest. Just dump the rest in. We want to bring the camera over here so we can take a look. See, here's where lost a little bit.
Dropped it.
Sorry. And this gets a little rough in here because this starts getting really, really stiff. And you want to try to form it best you can.
Can I stop?
No. Well. Now here's where you want to maybe dust your hand with a little bit of this.
Oh, this is weird.
And then you get in here. This way you start trying to form it.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
Whoa.
This one says you start and this is where you just keep doing this.
Oh, here's some.
And just keep like folding it over on it itself. And pretty soon it's going to look like bread dough. I think we got the right amount of flour in there because I don't feel it sticky to the touch. And it's,
Ooh.
you can see my
Very
hands.
dirty. I'm spotless. Oh, that's a good shot. I can't tell.
Why don't you back up a little bit?
Oh, I try.
Uh,
Ooh. Okay.
yeah, when we turn the camera off and come back on, we're gonna do it so you can see the screen better. But this
Yeah,
is
it's
a
because
good shot.
it's facing backwards for me.
And you want to just do this and
Is that a good shot? Because I can't tell.
yeah. Why don't you put it back on the thing there?
But what?
Why don't you put it on the thing and put it like here at the stand?
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah. So why don't you bring on a table here? Yeah, nice view of your hand right there. Okay,
Sorry.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
crap.
okay. Why don't you set the timer for 8 minutes now? Yeah, see, I'm doing this now. I can feel it's just a little sticky to my hand. So I'm just going to add just a little bit, just dust it a little bit. Because you want it so it's not going to,
Right.
and I know this is the exciting part
I'm hoping
here.
that's set.
Why don't you get that other bowl ready there and get a couple paper towels ready so we can cover it. And and as it's rising, you wait that time. It's a good chance to clean up the mess that you've already made. Is yes, like I said, you just want to just keep
Which we call
Like,
the baking show.
folding it over on itself. And that's pretty important to do this because the more you do this, it's going to mix it together, and the more you do this, the fluffier your bread is going to get. And the thing is, with this kind of bread, you want it to be like really super fluffy. You want kind of a hard crust, and on the inside, you really kind of almost want more air than bread. And now I'm starting to feel it get like a little sticky again. So I'm just going to grab a little more flour, just dust it a little bit, and because you don't want it to be sticky to the touch. So if it gets a little, that's why it says approximately 5.5. Notice I got my GCC. Notice I'm not wearing my usual loose fitting shirts or ties or vests.
He doesn't want it dirty.
Well, not only that, but if you don't really want to wear loose fitting stuff when you're baking, because you don't want your tie or your shirt to be it's easier for it to fall into the ingredients. That's why a lot of times if a chef decides to wear a tie, he might go with the bow tie. And yes, I'm starting to feel it get like a little sticky again, so. Just dust it a little bit. That's all right. It won't take more than it needs.
It's like Play-Doh.
That's pretty much what it is.
It's like it's edible Play-Doh.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally edible right now, actually. I'm not going to.
You know, you can, like, since you bought flour, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
this,
that could be.
I saw this TikTok where where this girl made homemade Play-Doh. I didn't have enough ingredients. All we need, I think, was flour.
Yeah, so you just keep like you say, 8 minutes or so. I mean, you know, I don't know if the 8 minutes is, you know, that's exact. But the thing is, you really want to make sure everything's all blended together. And like you say, the more you do this, the like you say, the fluffier it'll be. You know, and don't try to beat the system by saying, well, I don't want fluffy bread, so I'm not going to do it. It doesn't quite work that way neither. You know, it's the same way there. A lot of guys used to think, you know, you have you know, a frozen dinner, and it says, you know, preheat oven to 300 degrees and cook for 30 minutes. Well, a lot of guys would think like, well, if that's the case, it's getting a little bit sticky again. I'm gonna set the oven for 700 and cook it for 15 minutes. Thinking, you know, and it just doesn't work that way. You know, you just can't beat the system. Like I said, you just want to just keep folding this over until you get these ingredients mixed. You know, most importantly, get that that yeast, because we're gonna put this in the bowl pretty soon. Here, this bowl here. We're gonna put like a little bit of that grease in there.
I actually never tried homemade bread.
Yeah, it's
If I ever have, it's been a while.
It's been a while since I made this, but it's yeah, you do this right. You know, this part right here, I know Girl Scouts, you're gonna get a little bit tired, so you know, if your last name is Popovich, you might want to take turns with your sister Girl Scout, who's also your sister's sister. If you don't have siblings or somebody like that, you know, maybe mommy or daddy or both, you could all kind of take turns doing this. But I know this is why on TV, when you see they'll like show how to do, and then he'll take out a second dough that's already been you know, kneaded and rised and stuff like that. You know, and that's why like if you ever went to a professional bakery, you know, like you know, Butternut or, you know, wherever they make bread, you'll see they got these big huge machines, because they will make dough, you know, the size of a car almost, and they have these big machines that'll do this for it, and it's pretty cool.
I like what's that bread called that Mom gets at the store that I love so much? It's Vienna.
Oh, the Vienna bread.
That stuff is good.
Yes, that is.
I'm not a big fan of French bread. Like, French bread is good, but it's don't. I wish it was like cut in slices, because I don't usually like to eat the crust that much.
Like I said, if we start to feel it get like a little tacky, a little bit sticky, just kind of dust a little bit of the some flour on here, and like I say, you are gonna get messy doing this, but it is so worth it, especially if you have family coming over. What's the next holiday? You know, if we're free to go for on quarantine for Mother's Day, which who knows, or
Doubt.
well, you know, we were just at the bank today, and it was one of those where, you know, credit union where it could be several different, you know, they serve, you know, a network of different credit unions there, and they wouldn't let you in the building, only in the lobby, and there was a guy out front kind of waiting with us, cussing a little bit because he thought it was kind of stupid. He thought they were like, you know, wasting his time or whatever. It's like, you know, would it make you feel a little bit better if he was waiting in line, you know, inside the building? And And in all reality, he might have waited 6-8 minutes, which is probably about the average wait at a bank anyway. You know.
Are you putting this on Facebook or YouTube?
I'm gonna try Facebook. Now I'm just gonna upload it to YouTube. So it's almost been 8 minutes. We're gonna go. You get kind of feel that it's it's kind of heavy. Look at that.
Jeez.
Well, that's 5.5 pounds of flour plus water. So
Yeast.
Oh no, 5.5 cups of not pounds, cups.
It's pounds.
5.5 cups. So it's it weighs probably a couple pounds right now.
It's like.
So we're almost done with this. Okay, go ahead, shut off. So put dough in greased bowl and flip over so that dough top is lightly greased. So let's take a little bit of our vegetable oil.
I'm just gonna touch it. Look at it.
Right.
Oh, that feels weird.
Yeah, it feels just kind of.
I like the feel of that.
It wouldn't hurt to put like a little extra, flour at the bottom of there.
Chef, wait.
Baker.
You're a baker, Mr. Mo.
So
Baker.
In fact, I'm gonna put in like this bigger one here.
Ooh.
You just wanna that way it doesn't.
You don't have to measure the oil.
No, because it's just this way. It just doesn't have to stick.
Oh, it's kind of in the way.
So I'm gonna kind of knead this here. Try to close it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in the bowl and kind of top with grease. Just tap a little grease on there.
You should ask Mom to try it.
Just tap a little grease.
And
then we're gonna it says cover. We're gonna take a couple paper towels.
Well, I had some right here, but okay.
We're gonna take first. We're gonna go ahead and cover it. So when we come back, you're gonna see the table probably look the same because we still have some table stuff to do. So that's part 1 of making bread. So we are gonna shut off and let this rise. So our next video is gonna take place an hour after I shut this one off. So we'll see you pretty soon.